A warm welcome to all the attendees, teachers, administrators from around the country who are joining us today for this Saturday evening session of our monthly webinars that we host. So Burlington English is happy to join you all on this session. So it's a new Saturday, a new expert with us today, and it's a break from the regular language or early years topics that we have. It will be quite refreshing for you as well. And yes, a new tone and a new pace also will be set. Great. So we have a guest. I'll formally introduce her in a minute or two. But Aditi ma'am, how are you feeling today? And tell us, where are you joining us from? And yes.
Thank you so much, sir. Hello, everyone. Good evening to all. So my name is Aditi and I'm joining this webinar from Jodhpur, Rajasthan.
How are you feeling? Is it still chilly out there wherever you are from? From
Uh,
Jodhpur that you're from? Yeah. Is it chilly
As of
out
now,
there?
no. No, during this time of the day, it's quite pleasant. Yes, early in the morning, we can feel a little bit cold, but now it's pleasant.
Okay. I think few days of winter are just left, right? Then it's all going to be very sunny.
Right.
And how is everything at the school for you?
Yeah,
Uh,
everything's going good. Admissions are happening. The session is about to end and the new session is about to begin.
Yes, transitional phase for the students and for everyone at the school. Great. So I think we are on time, ma'am. And once again, a warm welcome to all the teachers, administrators, and participants who've joined us from around the country and beyond on this Saturday evening session of our monthly webinar. Burlington English is happy to have you here. So like I said, it's a new Saturday, a new expert with us. So yes, but before I introduce the expert, a basic set of rules for the participants. Do feel free to communicate, to interact with us on the chat. Uh, if you raise your hands, there's nothing much I can do about it. But the questions, there is a Q&A part of it. Do post your questions on the topic that we have at hand today in the Q&A part of the webinar. And yes, do share your comments, suggestions, and the questions that ma'am would be putting forward in the chat. Okay. And also this webinar would be available on our YouTube channel in a couple of days. And yes, for attending the entire session, the majority of the session, you would be getting a digital certificate for the same. So without much ado, I welcome you all to this session on manifestation and the power of the subconscious mind. So very interesting break from our regular topics that we have. And we have our esteemed guest speaker today, Ms. Aditi Rathore. So a little bit about her. Aditi ma'am is an accomplished educator with over 10 years of experience working with parents, teachers, and children, specializing in reprogramming of the subconscious mind. She is a firm believer in the law of attraction and manifestation. Ma'am has applied these techniques to students and individuals, witnessing remarkable results in helping them attract the life they have always wanted. So Aditi ma'am has a diverse background in education, having conducted numerous workshops on public speaking and phonics, focusing on training young orators and fostering a love for reading in children. She's passionate about developing the emotional intelligence, and raising and developing the emotional quotient in children. So let's hear it from ma'am itself, so herself rather, right? So ma'am, over to you. Let's start this session. Thank
Thank you so much, Swapnil sir. With your due permission, can I now share my screen?
you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today it's a very different topic. It's all about manifestation and the power of subconscious mind. Manifestation nowadays is the most buzzing word, but then how am I using it in my school with my children is something which we all will be learning all together.
Sounds quite interesting.
Thank you. So now, before jumping on the webinar, let us know some of the basic rules. So I want all of you to be honest, vulnerable, and be in the present. I know it's weekend. I know there are many things happening back of the mind. You might be thinking of winding up this week and then putting up things to do for the next week. But then at the same time, I request you all for just 60 minutes to be present here, because this thing is for sure that you're going to take away something really worthwhile while attending this seminar. And maybe there are some of the questions, unsolved questions, to which you might get answers to. So be in the present. Now, there are some of the questions which I'm going to ask you all, and the answers to which are already written. I want you to type the answers again in the chat box. Okay? So, where are you?
We would request everyone to grab a notepad and a pencil, or rather use the chat window here that we have. So just write down your responses.
Yes.
So yes, Aditi ma'am, some responses are coming in. They're saying on land, at home, they're in the present. They're putting their locations also. So
So the
Teresa
answer,
ma'am is at Jharkhand.
okay. So basically the answer is already given. That is here. So you have to type in here. Okay. What time is it? That is now. Who are you? And you are this moment. I want all of us to make the most of it, the moment, to learn something very, very crucial, that is the power of subconscious mind and manifestation. And why you are here is the reason. See, before starting the webinar, I want all of us to set the intent that by the end of the webinar, may we all have little bit of knowledge to spread about manifestation pertaining to subconscious mind. Okay. Now, before starting the webinar, I would like to give a brief introduction about myself apart from what Sir has already given. So, on my resume, yes, I am a success story decorated with titles, with degrees and accomplishment. But beneath the resume, there is much more to it. There is something which no certificate could ever document. I was never like this. I was a product of a society which was completely unaware about the power of subconscious mind. And since the very beginning, from the external environment, the seeds of self-doubt, self-hatred, limiting beliefs have been sown in my mind, so much so that there was a point in my life where I had hit the rock bottom. I was an utter failure in all the areas of my life, be it health, be it relationship, be it career, money, spirituality. Everything was shattered completely. I was actually questioning about my life. Why am I even here? And this is something which we all could resonate at some or the other point of our lives. uh, I have no shame in sharing that I have been diagnosed with borderline depression. I was almost on medication. And then, amidst all that, when I had hit the rock bottom, when I really wanted to change something and I was seeing no hope there at that moment, my father gifted me something which actually changed the game of my life. My overall perspective was changed. That was a book named as The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I started reading it and I started applying the little principles in it. And in no time, I observed changes in my life. And that gave me the power to again rebuild my life from scratch. And then I started delving deep into the concepts of subconscious mind and I started applying them in my life. And in no time, things actually started to change. And when I changed my life in all the areas, then I thought that I was given this gift at that point of time where I was already broken. I was an adult. And then I vowed to myself that no child would ever feel that way. And that was my mission, And it has become my mission to spread the awareness about subconscious mind to every individual, every child, every parent, every educator, so that no other child has to undergo the suffering which I had undergone at some point of my life. And then I started my school and I started working on the principles of subconscious mind and how to rewire it. So, this is my background about how I started the program named as the Subconscious Reboot. If you all could resonate with me at some or the other point of time that yes, we all had seen that rock bottom, type me in the chat box. Now, talking about the learnings, that what all we will be covering here is the science of manifestation, how subconscious mind works, how we create our reality and heal. This is something very important. Recognizing and upgrading emotional frequency, and goal setting. So now, before jumping on the science of manifestation, the word manifestation, it is something which can be termed as the meeting of science and wisdom. It is a philosophy to live by and actually a blueprint which can help you in living your dream life. How? I'll show you. Now, we all have read it in quantum physics that everything around us is made up of energy. Okay. And energy is vibrating at some frequency. So, for example, if I take this pen, if I see it under a microscope, so there will be molecules, atoms, submolecules, neutrons, protons, and then there will be energy. Now, that energy is vibrating at some frequency, which is making this as a pen. And frequency creates form, which means I look the way I look because I am vibrating at some frequency. Now, do you think frequency changes? Yes, it does. Because I did not look like this when I was a kid. I was entirely different. Then the frequency changed, and now this is me. We look at ourselves when we were in our teens or when we were in our childhood, we were entirely different. And now we are entirely different entity. Why? Because we keep on changing the frequency. And now every frequency vibrates at some or the other point of time. So now, be it material things or immaterial things. For example, from immaterial things, I meant to say my words, my thoughts, and my beliefs. They all are also vibrating at some or the other kind of frequency. And there is a law of universe which says that like attracts like. So if I vibrate at a frequency of joy, gratefulness, happiness, that's how I will be attracting more and more of opportunities in my life, which I had always wanted. So now you can go back and take a look at your life, that when we complain, why is it happening with me? Why only me? Is why because you are vibrating at a frequency which is quite low. So a high vibe will attract high vibe frequency, and low energy will attract low vibe frequency. I hope it has been made clear. And energy can change form and shape, which means that suppose if I take a water bottle and if I melt it, so the water bottle is solid, but if I melt it, it will become liquid. And if I keep on melting it, it will take the gaseous form, which means that energy can change form and shape. That is how we have been built. If this thing is clear, please let me know.
So we do have quite a few responses in the chat as well.
Yeah. Okay. So now here comes the very interesting part about how our subconscious mind works. Now, like I said earlier, that everything is made up of energy. The thoughts we think, the belief system, everything is vibrating at some or the other kind of frequency. Now, how we attract those things in our life, how a child is, we find some of the children very confident and we find some children may not be that confident. Why? This is the reason. It has been proved in researchers that our subconscious mind is made up of 90%. I mean, the mind constitutes, the subconscious mind constitutes 95% of our mind, which means that from the ages 0 to 7 years, that is from the inception time only, until the age of 7 years, we operate in theta and alpha state. Now, theta and alpha state are nothing but the brain waves, okay, which are operating at some or the other kind of frequency. In this state, basically, whatever you are feeding in your child's mind will directly become their belief system. So consider your mind like an empty hard disk. Whatever data you are filling inside will eventually become their reality, and that will shape their life. So does that mean that you cannot reprogram the mind? No, we can. But I'm just right now explaining you the basics, that why some children are very confident, why some children behave in different way, and why some children behave in extremely different way, is because whatever they are grabbing from their external environment is how it is becoming their reality. Now, until the age of 7 years, whatever is feeding inside, whatever words or praises or maybe the slightest form of joke you are listening, becoming their reality. So after a certain point of time, we develop something called as critical mind. That is the filter which allows you to know the difference between what is true and what is not true. Per se, if somebody says me that, Aditi, you are 6 feet tall, which I know I'm not. So definitely that critical mind will help me to analyze that, no, it's not true. But in case of children, it doesn't happen that way. In case of children, until the formation of critical filter, which usually happens around the age of 7 to 12 years, they believe whatever is told to them. So if you are saying that you irritate me a lot, so a child believes that he's unwanted. If you're saying, why don't you listen? Why are you such a slow writer? The child believes it to be true. I'm a very slow writer. I cannot do this. If you're saying, yes, you can do this, you are such a good speaker, the child would again accept that, which is why we say speak positive. You keep the environment intact. Be the replica you want your child to become. And now there comes the conscious mind, which literally operates in the beta states, which is in the present, which enables us to make the difference between the reality and the imagination, which enables us to work. And we all, at this moment of time, we all are operating in beta state. Okay. So now, as I told you, that our subconscious mind is developed. Most of the subconscious mind is developed around the age of 7 years, and that becomes our belief system. And that is something which we carry forward with us. So now, suppose if a child's belief system was broken, where a child is filled with negative belief. So how do we alter that? So there was this experiment which I did in my school, and it helped me a lot. So what I did, I run a boutique school in Jodhpur having 200 students. So it was possible for me to actually conduct the experiment and see the results. So I divided my students into 4 categories. So first one was fear of public speaking. The second one was fear of writing. The third one was fear of examination. And the fourth one was indisciplined behavior. Now, I called their parents also, and I told them what they have to do at home, so that there should not be any discrepancy and that my work should not be disrupted. And every day until now, our morning assemblies are conducted in a very special way, followed by meditation, visualization, and affirmation. I started making my children do meditation And now slowly and gradually increase the timing of meditation. Now my children are sitting in meditation from grade 1 to 5 for 40 minutes without blinking their eyes, keeping their eyes closed. Then I take them towards the guided visualization followed by affirmation. And after a period of 2 months, when I measured the changes to see if the results are really happening or not, I was amazed to see that there was one girl who had come post corona in my school. She had a profound fear of writing examination. I spoke to onboard psychologists also. I spoke to her parents also. I counseled her personally, but they all told me that it is because of anxiety. But from where that anxiety is stemming from and how we can cure it was something, it was actually keeping me knowing more about it. So I conducted this AVM, that is affirmation, visualization, and meditation. And then in the month of July, when our examination happened, I was amazed to see that girl not only attempted 100% of her paper for the very first time, but she scored quite well also. Now, scoring was something very different, but what gave me happiness is that she attempted her paper 100%. So that was a big achievement for me. Second was, there were some of the students who had this fear of public speaking. And even I had the fear of public speaking at one point of my time. If somebody would take the name of stage and mic, those jitters and those shivering moments would start to happen. And now, during this meditation and visualization, which was in a very guided manner, when I had this oratory skill competition, I still remember the grade 4 students. There are 20 students, and it was really difficult for me to give marking to them because all of them literally were on the same level. I cannot say that yes, all of them were at number one position, but there were students whom I could not believe that they can also come out with flying colors. So every achievement of every student, I was actually measuring it along with the help of parents. And when it comes to the pre-primary student, there are lot many issues which parents are coming with, that the child is not listening, the child is not eating, for that matter he is not willing to write. So Joanne Golding is a psychosocial researcher who had given this technique called sleep therapy. So, sleep therapy is nothing but reprogramming your subconscious mind. When the child is in the theta state, when he is about to sleep, when he is not really awake and not really in the sleep, in the mid somewhere, that's when you give positive sentences to your child, simple positive sentences, and that impacts their subconscious mind directly. And yes, we have seen results in nursery students also. So everything, whatever I'm saying, is something which I have experienced it on a regular basis in my school and with my children and student. So this is all about the power of subconscious mind. So we have to be very cautious as an educator and as a parent and as an individual. What kind of words and sentences are we directly putting in our child's mind? Because this is an empty hard disk and they are absorbing everything, whatever we are telling to them. And that is how our belief system is also made. Those little voices saying, you cannot do this, sit down, nahi hoga, whatever is happening is because of the belief system which had been sown in our mind back then when we were kids. I hope you all are resonating with me at some or the other point of time. Or maybe you might have experienced something like that.
So we see a lot of thumbs up in the chat as well, and some of the teachers like Ruby ma'am is also saying that they do practice affirmations after every
Wow.
period in the class. And
Wow. It helps a lot. Now, moving forward, this is something very, very interesting, that how we create our reality. So there was this research done by National Science Federation of US, which says that on an average, a human thinks around 60,000 thoughts a day. 60,000 thoughts, okay? And Amongst those thoughts, 80% thoughts are negative and 90% thoughts are repetitive, which is why we end up attracting the same things again and again in our life. Now, suppose early in the morning when you get up, you switch on the TV or you see your mobile, and then you are feeling agitated towards the government, you are feeling something, you are feeling anger towards the maids, you are feeling anger for the traffic, and then that creates a loop. So one after the another, one after the another, one after the another, and that becomes our reality. We might get late for the office, we might attract such situations which we really do not want. But why is it happening? Is because we are thinking, we are thoughts are nothing but frequency, okay? And frequency vibrates at some level, and that vibration is nothing. Frequency we can do nothing if it doesn't oscillate. It gets its momentum from the emotions which we are having, okay? So as soon as we think something, we feel. When we feel, we attach emotion to it, and that emotion gives vibration, and we start vibrating at that frequency. And when we are vibrating at a low frequency, the lowest frequency is anger. We might attract some situations in our life which again give validation to that frequency. And when we vibrate at a frequency of love, which is the highest, highest is enlightenment, love, gratitude. When we vibrate at that frequency, we attract more and more such instances in our life wherein maybe some parent would come and say, ma'am, my child, she praises you a lot because she loves the way you teach. You are the reason for which she's looking up to come to school every day. So because we always are in a gratitude mode, we always are in the form of gratefulness, which is why we are attracting such things in our life again and again. So this is how we create our reality. Now, there is this book called Power versus Force by Dr. David Hawkins. And this is the chart which he had given, that how our emotional state vibrate at some or the other kind of frequency. So the lowest in this chart, it is shown that shame and guilt. And you see the frequency, it is just 100. And the highest, which says enlightenment, it is 1,000. Joy and peace, it is 600. So there's a saying that if you want something, you have to vibrate at that frequency. Frequency, in other words, we can also say that, suppose Swapnil sir, if I have to call you, so you have some frequency, right? You have some number. So I'll dial that number, and that number will surely get me connected to you and not to my mother. Why? Because you are carrying that frequency. So the same way, if I want to attract good luck in my life, if I want to attract a new job, if I want to attract good relationships, then I have to vibrate at the frequency of joy, peace, gratefulness, happiness, contentment. Isn't it interesting?
Yes, ma'am. So what number should I dial for this enlightenment?
Enlightenment. So you do not have to dial any number. You just dive deep inside you. Be in the moment. Be in the present. I hope it is not boring as of now.
Uh, yes,
Your
yes,
yes.
quite positive responses in the chat. So there are some questions also, and Vivek sir also agrees that meditation helps heal the mind, is what he's saying. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. We'll definitely answer each and every, we'll try to answer every question by the end of the webinar. Shall I proceed further?
Yes.
Okay. So now, how do you know that you are operating at a frequency and that we are aligning with the higher powers? Is when you observe any of these things. And I'll give you a beautiful example of this. So synchronicities. Synchronicities, Carl Jung, who was a great psychologist, I'm so sorry. He had also given this concept of synchronicities. That is, we are seeing some or the other events happening, even if we are thinking about it. For example, Suppose if I want to open my school, okay, or if I want to open a YouTube channel, I might come across some or the other kind of videos depicting how to open a YouTube channel, or I might meet someone who is already having his channel, and then while talking to him, suddenly these things come up that yes, I want to open my YouTube channel, and how he can help me in that. So basically, the universe aligns with you, and it presents itself in the form of synchronicities by giving you opportunities so that you can move ahead on your purpose. Okay. Second one is intuition and inner knowing, that gut feeling, that something, yes, I'm sure it's going to happen. Pakka hoga. That is something which is the inner knowing and the intuition. And when you have that, and it happens, when you are too much into meditation, you kind of foresee things much before they are happening to you. You get clarity of your life as to what I have to do and what is going to happen now. Repeating numbers, that is 1 2 1 2, 16 16, 15 15, or 11 11, these all are the signs that yes, the universe is trying to connect to you in some or the other way. Unexpected opportunities or people, suppose if I want to change my job, I might come across such opportunity, or maybe I might come across such people who might give me an idea or a clue or present me with an opportunity which is leading on the same track. Okay. And all this lead to increased emotional sensitivity. And EQ is something, which I think is the need of the hour, which every educator would agree to. Why? Because IQ, I think, would be developed, and there are so many resources to develop your IQ, but EQ is something which will make you human. EQ is something which will define you as a person. And EQ is something which it's not a skill, it's something which you need to build. It's something which it's already within you. You just need to take that thing out. And which is why my school is completely focusing on EQ. The curriculum is designed in such a way whereas emotional quotient is being given the higher priority. Now, how these things actually happen is, quickly I'm going to give you one example. So what happened that every year we do put up one annual function. And in my school, because I give importance to EQ, we generally put up functions on unsung heroes or lesser known heroes or famous heroes. So last time we had put up function on Chanakya. So it is completely 1 hour non-stop play, wherein the recordings and everything is being done by us and the students. So now, because I have a boutique school, the ground is very limited. And while we put up annual function, we call dignitaries as our chief guest, and we need to have that ample amount of space to cater to the audience and of course our chief guest. So this time I had to book this auditorium, which is there in Jodhpur, town hall. And town hall had just been renovated and it was not properly functioning because the electricity was not there. So they said that you have to install a generator and things like that. So I went there for a booking, and they said that no, we are not ready to give this to any of the school because there are some of the other functions coming up and this and that. So they were actually not agreeing to what I wanted them to convey. So I had this strong feeling that I will get this auditorium and I will do in this auditorium only. And I had thought of the guest also. So that time we had called Chief Justice of High Court for our function. And now, when I was about to give the application, I got to know that one of the very prominent minister, he wanted to do some function there and he was also being refused. They refused him also to give the space. Now that was a kind of a situation wherein I would have given up. That if they have refused the minister, who am I? But then I had this profound belief. I went there, I signed the application, I gave them, I said, I want this on this date. Now, after that, the manager who was taking care of that town hall, he got replaced. The IAS or the RAS officer who was the head in charge, he got replaced. And then I got a letter saying, a rejection letter, that no, we cannot give you. I got to know that there was this newly appointed RAS there. I went to him, and without even saying anything, I just presented my again the new application, and I said that I have come from the school. I have small children, and this is the play I'm going to put up. Now that person, he was fond of history. As soon as he heard about Chanakya, and he got to know that what my point of view is, he just gave me a green signal. He signed the copy and he said that your program will be done. So it cannot be a coincidence. I would have literally been, I would have given up seeing the things that a minister was denied that auditorium. Who am I to get it? But then, because I had profound faith, I had this intuition, I had this gut feeling, and then all the synchronicities were happening. I was seeing a lot of angel numbers, and I had this profound belief is something which, actually made it happen, and it really went very well. So this is how manifestation and emotional frequency actually works. And this is just one example. There are umpteen examples that are happening to us on a regular basis. But the only thing is that we overlook it. Yes, Swapnil sir, do you agree with it?
Yes, ma'am. A lot of the teachers are saying in the comments as well. I think it's the law of attraction. Also, our mind is like a magnet, is what one of the teacher is saying over here.
Yes.
Yes, and I think you believed in what you wanted and you went after it, and I think the universe aligned to make it happen for you.
Yes. So it happens in every way. Now, there is this one activity which I want all of you to do, and this is a wonderful activity. This will help you recognize your emotions, that at what frequency you are vibrating at. So, are you all ready to do this activity? Yes. So, quickly grab a notepad and on a fresh page, draw a line in the middle, a vertical line, making that page divided into two columns, the left and the right. So, towards the left hand side, you write positive emotions. Towards the right hand side, write negative emotions. Okay. So now, for example, towards the left hand side, one of the emotion I can write is happy. So the negative emotion, the opposite of happy would be sad, right? So likewise, you have to write emotions which are resonating with you, which you feel most of the time. For example, you might feel energetic, and the opposite of energetic is lethargic. Okay. Some of us might feel very grateful, and others might feel ungrateful. So just make a list of as many emotions as you can. You can feel calm. At the same time, you can feel anxious. Swapnil sir, can you name some of the emotions?
So some of them that I'm facing these days are like anxiety.
Yeah.
Anxiety, I think I'm sure.
Opposite of anxiety would be calm,
Calm, okay.
right?
And yes,
Then,
and I think
hmm,
stress also is kind of an emotion, you can say.
yes, stress is also a kind of emotion. So opposite of stress will be relax.
Yes, can be.
Yes.
Also, there's
Then,
a joy element of joy that
yes,
I've seen
joy,
at times.
joy, 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 and opposite of joy will be depressed,
Okay.
right? And excited and bored. Then you can feel love,
Mhm.
and the opposite of loved is hatred or loneliness,
Okay.
right? You can be proud of yourself at the same time. The opposite of it will be ashamed,
Yes.
and we can feel secure, and the opposite of it would be fearful,
Okay.
right? So
Yes.
there are many emotions, that content, dissatisfaction, acceptance, rejection. Okay. So now you all must have written some of the emotions, like 10 to 15 emotions we all must have written: encouraged, discouraged, okay, motivated, demotivated. Now, what I want you to do is, in the left and the right, okay, whatever emotions you feel that you are resonating with the most, just circle it. Suppose, and it should not be like you are feeling some days, but on a regular basis, like as soon as you get up, how you feel. You feel energetic, you feel positive, or you feel lethargic. Okay, so just circle those emotions.
So it can be from both the columns or just from one column?
Yeah, no, it can be from both the columns. You can feel positive and negative emotions
Okay.
all together. Done? Okay, so now turn the page, take a fresh page, and on that page, just mention the timeline, as in, at what time do you get up in the morning? Suppose for some it may be 5. So write 5 a.m. Now, after giving a gap of 2 hours, write the timeline like 5 a.m., then 7 a.m., then 9 a.m., then 11 a.m., then 1 p.m., then 3, then 5, then again 7, then 9, 11. So for instance, if you are waking up, say at 7 a.m., so your timeline will start from 7, then 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, 7, again 9, likewise. Done? I hope the instructions are clear and everybody is, using this, you will get to know your emotional frequency. So please do this exercise. It's very interesting. And it changed my life when I got to know, my God, I am actually vibrating at this frequency. How can I expect good things in my life?
Right.
So
And this
now
exercise might take a longer time for some of the participants to do it as well, right? Yeah.
we'll quickly wrap it up. You
Okay.
can do it. I mean, just listen the instructions and then you can complete it later on. So now at 5 a.m., the emotions which you had encircled on the previous page, those all are your emotions. Okay, so at 5 a.m., how you feel? You feel energetic, or you feel lethargic, or you feel sad, or you feel happy? Just write those emotions. At 5 a.m., how you are feeling. At 7 a.m., how you are feeling. Now try to recognize how you are feeling. At 9, how you are feeling. So now fill those timeline with one emotion. With one emotion in front of each timeline. From 5, 7, 9, 11. At 11 a.m., how you are feeling. You're feeling energetic, you're feeling motivated, or you're feeling depressed, you're feeling lonely. In the evening, some of us might feel lonely, some of us might feel energetic. So emotions can vary, but this is something which we are feeling on a regular basis. Fine. So now after filling that tracker, count all the negative emotions which you are having. So out of 10, suppose if you are having 8 negative emotions or 7 negative emotions, says that you are operating at 70% negative frequency. Okay. Now,
Okay.
if you are operating and vibrating at 70% negative frequency, how can you attract positivity in your life? How can you attract good luck in your life? So to attract those things, you have to change your frequency. Now, here comes the good part. How do you change the frequency? Number one, take 100% responsibility of your actions. Whatever is happening to you is only because of you. No external environment, no father, no sibling, no brother, no in-laws, no spouse, nothing. Nobody is responsible other than you. So take that responsibility. Number two, recognize the emotion. This is something which we all fail to recognize as an adult, and we as an educator are not instilling the power in our children to recognize the emotions, because until we recognize what we are going through, we cannot heal the process, we cannot heal ourselves. Because if we do not know that which area or which part of our body is in pain, how can we go and show it to the doctor? If I'm having a headache, I will take Disprin, right? I'm not going to take Meftal Spas. So you should know what emotions you are going through. And then there are several breathwork techniques known as box breathing, known as 478, known as deep belly breathing, and many more, which can help you to break the present frequency only when you know, you are consciously aware that what is happening to me and what kind of emotions I am going through. So now, how do you break that emotion and create a positive emotion is by using this. This is positive body language. So whenever you are feeling that now you're going to slip in the depressed mode and now you are going to feel lonely, just change the place. Get up, move your body a bit, either listen to a high frequency music or talk to a person whom you like talking to, or go for a walk. Just change the place. Next is positive self-talk. Every day, before I really do it every day. Before stepping out of my home, I just look at myself in the mirror and I say, today is going to be my day. And I'm looking very nice. And I'm going to win this day. That gives me immense self-confidence to carry my day throughout positively. And repeat those sentences. I am the creator of my life and everything is working in my favor. As soon as you change your body language, as soon as you change your thoughts, your words, magic will start to happen. Now, suppose you're feeling depressed, just raise your hands and look upwards and laugh. And now, can you feel depressed at the same time? No, you cannot. You can try it. Put your hands up and look up and now try to feel depressed. You cannot, I bet. And if you are, then you need to break your pattern. And you can. Okay. And these are some of the sentences which my children repeat on a regular basis. One sentence I have told them as their life mantra. I have told them that use this sentence whenever you are feeling stuck. And that sentence says, I believe in me. I believe in me every day. And it's a miracle that a student who is stuck in math problem, he's repeating in his mind, I believe in me. I believe in me. I have seen this happening. I've seen this happening with my own son. And it gives me so much of satisfaction and contentment seeing them believing in themselves, saying to themselves, I believe in me. And then when they see results, they are saying, I said that. Yesterday, he got a new register and the first sentence he wrote on that register was, I believe in me. These are the little practices, which can build their future. And we are not just building one child's future, we are changing the entire generations, my dear educators. So this is something which you must all do on regular basis and try doing it. And it's a habit. And whenever you break a pattern, we become little bit uncomfortable because we get very comfortable being uncomfortable. So when you are getting uncomfortable, that's when you must tell to yourself that, yes, I'm moving towards my goal. My life is becoming better. And now there is this part which is known as goal setting. So goals are nothing but get clear on your desire as to what you want. That desire has to be very, very clear. Most of the IIT, IIM alumni, they are doing their jobs and then suddenly they are leaving everything, saying that now we are moving towards spirituality. What is that? Because they did not know at the first place that what they want from their life. So we must make this statement very clear since the very beginning. Get clear on your desire. Own the feeling, own that emotion. Suppose if I want to uh, give momentum to my subconscious reboot program, I have already put my energy in that. I have already given emotions to it. And now things are happening automatically. I have to align my actions and beliefs, and then we should surrender. Do your best and leave the rest. Everything will work. And this is proven. And now there are these 5 areas of your life in which you need to make goals. Number 1 is your health. Number 2, relationship, career, money, and spirituality. So be very clear what you want in your health. Make 3 goals. The 2 goals should be short-term goal and 1 goal should be long-term goal. For example, I want to lose this 5 kg in this time. A goal has to be attached with a timeline. Otherwise, the goal is not a goal. Okay? So this is how, and it is completely an entirely a different topic on affirmations and visualization, and it is very, very vast. So as of now, I can just tell you that make 3 goals in each of these areas and keep repeating those goals in present tense. So you will say, I have already lost 5 kgs. I'm feeling energetic in my body. I am at my ideal weight of 52 kgs and I'm feeling energetic. So this is how you must frame your sentences in a positive sense. So
Ma'am,
now,
can we go back to the slide on the goal setting? I think some of the participants wanted to see that, the one prior to this. Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe if they want to take a picture or something, they can do so. Right. All right. Thanks, ma'am.
okay. So now, tell me please in the chat box, I'm going to give you a mantra, a blueprint, using which you can actually live the life of your dreams. So you just try it once, take a simple goal and try it using this blueprint. Are you ready to change your life completely? Please tell me in the chat box. Shall I give you that blueprint? Are you ready to change your reality? Yes? And are you ready to live your dream life the way you had always wanted to? So if yes, here's your key takeaway. That is the savers. The savers. It is a life-changing tool. Savers means S stands for silence. As soon as you get up in the morning, suppose daily if you are getting up in the morning at 7 a.m., try to get up at 6:45. That's when you are operating in theta state. And just sit in silence for about 5 minutes. Close your eyes, sit in silence. It will help you a lot to process and navigate throughout the day. So start from 2 minutes, then gradually increase it to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. I sit for 1 hour. So 1 hour is a time. It will take some time in doing that, but do not leave the practice. Do not leave the practice. Keep sitting. Keep sitting. Even if you're feeling drowsy, keep sitting. Now, second one is affirmations. Affirmations is nothing but the goals which I had asked you. How to make those goals into positive sentences. There's a complete technique of it. So that is affirmation. Number 3 is visualization. Visualization is again a very powerful tool, and there are so many processes of visualization. The one which I'm using is vision board. So what I have done is in all the 5 areas, whatever I want, I just put it across my vision board. And every day I visualize it. I keep a small picture of it in my purse also. So whenever I'm feeling a bit low, I just take a look at it and I say, this is me and this is who I will be. Okay. Next is exercise. Exercise, do it even for 10 minutes early in the morning, but move your body. Do some breathing exercise. Do some jumping jacks only. Do some running for that matter, but do something. Then reading. Now, reading is something which I was once there was a time when I was a, I cannot say avid reader, but yes, I loved to read. But then after a point of time, I stopped reading books. Now, uh, I I want to develop this habit, and reading is something, which can make you a profound learner, which can teach you so many things. So now I have started reading books again. So right now I'm reading this. I hope you all can see, Manifest by Roxy Nafuzi. I have read it already. Now I'm again reading it. So I have made a point, be it even 10 pages a day, but I will read it continuously. So early in the morning, I do that. And scribing is one thing which I love to do. This I do it in the morning or maybe before going to bed. I process all the good things that has happened, those little moments, even if my student has given me a card, even if they have drawn a picture of me, I say a thank you note to it and I scribe what I wanted. So today, this webinar is also going to be there in my journaling. So everything, like your comments, I'm not able to see any of your comments, but then yes, later on I'm going to read those all, and those are going to get in my journal. So I'm grateful and thankful for all the good things that are happening, even the smallest of all. But then I make a point to journal it. So you follow these savers and you will see a great change in your life. I'm telling you. And that is all for today. We are on time, actually.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. We have a few questions from the participants. The other participants can also post their questions in the Q&A part of the webinar. There are
Yes.
loads of thank yous already pouring in, but let's quickly, we have about 5 minutes to take some questions. So I'll take up this question first. How to overcome overthinking is something Gunjan ma'am has asked over here.
Yes,
So
yes. Gunjan ma'am, overthinking is something which everybody is going through. So the pattern which I had told you, that whenever you are finding yourself slipping in the overthinking, just stop right there. Remind yourself. Now, how to do that? So there's a technique, ma'am. Set an alarm after every 2 hours. After every 2 hours, when that alarm will ring, it will actually gives you a reminder that what emotions are you going through right now. So whenever you are finding yourself slipping into overthinking, stop right there only. Just change your place or see the goal card. The same way I see my vision board. See, I have this vision board on my phone also. This is my saver screen. So every time, whenever I'm slipping into something which is negative, I just go and see it. Like, this is me. And these are just the thoughts. And I can overcome, I can tame my mind. And I will not my mind let me tame me. My mind to tame me. I can tame my mind. And that's how you can actually, so it will be a little bit difficult process in the beginning, but at the same time, ma'am, with consistent practice, you can. And yes, say this thing to yourself. Don't say I'm overthinking. Say I am balanced. I have balanced emotions. Keep saying these things. So pick up that sentence, which is exactly the opposite of what you are thinking. And whenever you are finding yourself slipping into overthinking, just flip the sentence, switch the sentence, and it will help you a lot.
oh, thank you, ma'am. So a lot of the questions in the question section also, I think some of them did get answered in the process of the webinar, but I would like to reiterate some of them. So how to stay calm in a panic situation is what Hemant sir is asking. Any ideas on that?
So, Sir Hemant sir, I'm sure being an educator, we encounter such situations on daily basis where we might lose our control. But at the same time, when we dive into meditation, sir, it will help you a lot in staying grounded. When I had started my meditation journey, it was really difficult for me initially in the beginning because our neural pathway connections are already formed, those synaptic connections, no? And whenever we are developing any new habit, the neural pathway connections, the new neural patterns start to form. And it will take some time over and over again. When we keep doing that same practice again and again, that's when we are, the process is actually being built in our brain. So now, losing staying calm in a situation, meditation is something which you must do, which help you a lot. Again, at the same time, flip the word. I am calm, I am composed, and I am made for bigger purpose. So when you will keep saying these sentences to you again and again, it will help you a lot. Do mirror practice and write affirmations and journaling. Say, always pay gratitude for things which have already happened, be it negative only, be it positive, be it negative. Why? Because every negative thing that has happened in the past has led us to something positive. If we go back and trace the pattern, everything that happens has a reason why it has happened. So be thankful for whatever has happened, be thankful for whatever you have, and pay gratitude for things that are yet to come. So do this practice of meditation. It will help you a lot. You will see wonders. And meditation, you can try Wim Hof's meditation practice. It starts with breathing, and you should also see Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditation. It will help you a lot. I make my kids do Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditation, a part of it.
Great. I think one last question we can take. There's about students, like the students are very stressed before examination. So is there
Yes.
something that you do for this?
Yes, affirmations, visualization. I take them through a process, a guided visualization, wherein I make them feel that, you are sitting in the examination hall. I picture everything, every detail of it. You are seeing your desk, you are seeing your pencil box, now you're opening it and you are writing. There's a research, and the athletes and our cricket team captain Virat Kohli, he also uses this technique. They visualize the success much before they are actually getting to it. The athletes usually, they visualize before getting onto the path. They visualize their success. And there is this thing that if you have given this gift of visualization to your children, that yes, now think that you are writing the paper, you are knowing all the answers, you are very happy, and you are writing fast, you are cross checking your paper twice, and you are smiling because you have already read that question. Believe you me, it will bring wonders to their life. Visualization is one technique which you must do with your children. And also the affirmations would help a lot. And yes, there is this one practice which I am doing in my school on a regular basis. As soon as our first period happens, before the teacher comes in, when the class teacher is there in the class, children write 5 gratitude sentences every day early in the morning. Then they speak 5 different gratitude sentences at 11 o'clock, and they again write 5 different gratitude sentences before the school gets over. And every time it is different. So earlier it used to happen, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for my teacher. Now those sentences have narrowed down to, I'm grateful for the pen, I'm grateful for the desk, I'm grateful for the water, I'm grateful for the fresh air. Imagine. So this is one thing which I believe every educator, every principal must inculcate in their school curriculum: gratefulness, mindfulness, and of course, there are many good things.
Great. On that note, Aditi ma'am, for this boost of positivity today, thank you so much on behalf of Burlington English and all the participants gathered here today. Thank you for this wonderful, interesting session. The participants would receive a certificate, a digital certificate at that, for attending the entire session. And you would get the recorded version of this webinar on our YouTube channel. So do follow us on the Burlington English YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us today, and have a nice day, all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.